Bill Snopper here. Summer's ending and it's time to make a clean sweep of inventory. It's the end of summer sales event at Franklin-Sussex Automall. Every new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram are clear the lot savings in the thousands.
Start the fall season in your choice of a new 2017 Jeep Compass or a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express, both just $189 a month.
And we can help you with credit. We'll get you approved and driving fast. Hurry to Franklin-Sussex Automall, Route 23 in Sussex.
Jeep Celebration Event, Ram Power Days.
Welcome back to the Franklin-Sussex Automall, Franklin-Sussex Hyundai Sports Beat. I'm your host, Dan Cleary, coming to you from the Automall parking lot. A little overcast, but Hurricane Jose kind of stayed away from us, which was good. And we send all our best wishes to the people down in Florida and the islands that are getting pounded again. They had Irma, then Jose was down there, now Maria, just craziness. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers down there. But now it's time for our pick segment, week 3 here already, folks. We're going to start off with Sussex Tech, as they will go and play Pascack Hills on Friday night. That's going to be probably a 6:30 start or 6 o'clock start. I want to double check on that. Sussex Tech had a tough loss last week. They have a very tough schedule. They played Roselle Park on opening week, and week 0 had a bye, and then they played Morristown Beer. They lost to the Crimson last week, 30-7. Taj Valentine, a very good player for Morristown Beer. But Tech, you know, they got small numbers, and everyone's got to go both ways. Tyler Crum is a very good quarterback. You know, Richie Hoffman, Bo Maroney, Dylan Beebe, Shane Salmons. These guys have to do it on both sides of the ball, and they're going to have to step it up. Now, they beat Pascack Hills last year, who has been in the state tournament recently as a couple of years ago. And Pascack Hills, a very tough program. Tech beat them 21-14 last year. They're in the American Gold of the North Jersey Super Football Conference. They're 1-1. They beat Tenafly 41-12 and was a shootout with Westwood, the defending section champs in North 1 Group 2, 59-29. Nick Costanza is a very good player. Tyler Deppard, Jack Eichner. I just think it's going to be tough for Tech to go on the road and beat Pascack Hills. Maybe next week Brian Stellenwerf will be able to get that first win, but I'm going to go with Pascack Hills. Our next game we're going to pick, Mendham at Jefferson. It's a crossover in the Super Football Conference. Mendham's in the Freedom Red. They're 0-2, and they've struggled to put points on the board. They have played 2 games, 13 points. They lost to Mount Olive 40-6 and Morris Hills 31-7. Logan Klaus, a good player for them. Mendham usually, typically a tough program, but off to a tough start. Jefferson bounced back at their first win of the year after that heartbreaking loss to High Point. They were able to beat a scrappy Vernon team who gave a good performance. They beat Vernon 16-6. Story of that game, Andrew Benfatti, you know, we thought coming in he was one of the best kickers around, and he basically proved it. 3 field goals, including a 41-yarder, to help them hold off the Vikings. Anthony Johnson, once again, very efficient passing the ball. And, you know, that Jerry Venerino running the Delaware wing tee, they use so many running backs. They use 7 against Vernon. Kids like Brandon Haydo had a touchdown, Justin Randizzo, Michael Fleming. The list of names go on. They did a nice job. And when Johnson throws the ball, quarterback Benfatti, Joe Patelli is really becoming a threat, does a nice job. Defensively, Matt DeLessio, you saw in the highlights, he made that pretty nice interception. He batted the ball down and caught it. He leads a pretty solid defense with Nick Miller, Michael Fleming, Joe Mallory at the end, at defensive end, had a sack. Randizzo, Shane Connolly, and you know, these guys, Shane O'Connor, a very good team, Jefferson, and they'll get the win at home, and they'll move to 2-1. Our next game, North Warren at Hackettstown. North Warren had their first win in 2 years a couple of weeks ago as they beat Hopatcong. They went down to a very good Butler team, and we thought they'd have a tough time. They did. They lost 46-0. But you know what? Gino Fleury's going to have those kids playing hard. Fired up. North Warren Hackettstown is an old rivalry from the old Skyland Conference, back when they would play like North Hunterdon and Del Valle and those teams. So these two schools, they know each other pretty well. It's not the North Warren Belvedere rivalry, but it's pretty darn close. But North Warren will look to quarterback Joe Wojtek, Ryan Walsh, lineman, two-way lineman Ryan Durling, James Barton, and Joey Toribio. Hackettstown 2-0, and they are off to a great start. This is a good team, folks. They beat up on Wallkill. I shouldn't say that. They beat Wallkill 41-7. It was 14-7 at the half. Rangers played so hard for Bobby Leach, and then just too many big plays in the second half for the Rangers. Hackettstown pulled away. Anthony Caputo, quarterback, 9-12 for 239 yards. He also carried the ball 11 times for 55 yards. Christian Masiak had 3 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. He also was their top running back. TJ Scarmetta does a great job. There's so many weapons on this Hackettstown team. Coach CJ Robinson with that option offense has a lot of options, you know, no pun intended. He's got a lot of weapons, and defensively Max Cash is playing well. Hackettstown's just going to be a little bit too much for North Warren on Friday night. Kittatinny got their first win. They beat Dover 34-7. Great win for Joe Catelli and the gang. As they go to 1-1, they're going to play an American Red Division game, key game. They'll go down to Lakeland on Friday night. So a big showdown there. James Franco threw his first touchdown. Zach Mufaro, who really was banged up in the preseason, it's amazing he's even playing. 21 carries for 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. His brother Jake, 8 for 46 and a touchdown, was all over the field as well on defense. And, you know, they're going to do a big game from those two, as well as Anthony Cagno, Jack Sikora, Cal Brook. But it's going to be the guys up front, you know, and Justin Montefiore, Derek Michaelman, Chris Laterio. They're going to need to go be very physical with this Lakeland team. And Justin Voss keyed that defense with 14 tackles. Jake Mufaro had 2 picks. So this is a real solid Kittatinny team with a big win. But Lakeland's big and physical. They're 2-0. This is their first division game. They went and they beat Wayne Valley, a Group 4 school. They beat Passaic Valley 21-20. Mark Fajaro threw a touchdown pass with about 5 minutes left to Michael Canzone for a touchdown. He was 11 of 21 for 158 yards, 241 yards. Connor Lyon had 5 catches. Kelvin Gonzalez, a tough two-way linebacker, fullback type kid. He had 91 yards rushing, 11 carries. He also had 10 tackles. Anthony Romeo, very tough kid, and Mike McKay. I just think Lakeland's going to be a little bit too physical for Kittatinny, and the Lancers are going to get the win. And our final pick of this first part of our pick segment, Newton had a pack on. Newton with the huge win, 20-7 over Lenape Valley. Big story out of that game, not only the win, first one for Matt Barzaro over his mentor Don Smolin, but Chase Kramer twisted his ankle. Most likely going to sit Friday night down at a pack on, but Nick Brigante came in and did a great job filling in for him. Will Larson was the player of the game, 78-yard touchdown run to seal it. He had about 16 tackles, led that defense, which limited Lenape Valley to just 7 points, and that's because Lenape Valley had a short field. It was after a fumble. Otherwise, Lenape Valley really couldn't get anything going. They had a chance, Lenape Valley. They were down 14-7. They were on the Newton 20, but Luke Young and the rest of the gang came up on defense for a big 4th down stop. But even with Kramer out, you got Will Larson, you got Dante North, you got Wyatt McCarthy, you know, Noah Sharp. They'll all fill in. Luke Young threw a beautiful touchdown pass to Jonathan Van Ness, who's just a menace on both sides of the ball as an end. You got Jaden Elliott on both sides. He had an interception. He's tough as a receiver. And, you know, and I was impressed with the defense. They went against that big Lenape line. Troy Babcock, who was injured. Now he's a big kid, 6'3", 6'4", 220. They had him at nose tackle, and he really bottled things up to allow Larson and Van Ness and Ryan Kaiser and the rest of those guys, Jimmy Harden, Chris Brock, to do their job. And that front line from Newton, Devin Major, Justin Mayhood, Justin Similian, Joey DeLuca, and Matt Summers did a terrific job. They're going to be too much for Hopatcong, who's 0-2. They lost to Shabazz, took a 6-0 lead against Shabazz, one of the top Group 1 teams around, and they ended up losing 28-6. Armando Santiago had a big day, 31 carries, 119 yards. Danny Farina at quarterback, Anthony Mascherani, Joey Giuliani on defense, Zach and Tyler Kennedy, and Curtis Madison. It's going to be, I think Hopatcong's going to play them much tougher than people think, especially without Kramer. We're going to be fired up, but I think Newton gets the win. So we'll have the rest of the picks of Week 3 when we come back here on the Franklin-Sussex Automall, Franklin-Sussex Hyundai Sports Beat.
Bill Snopper here. Summer's ending and it's time to make a clean sweep of inventory. It's the end of summer sales event at Franklin-Sussex Automall. Every new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram are clear the lot savings in the thousands.
Start the fall season in your choice of a new 2017 Jeep Compass or a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express, both just $189 a month.
And we can help you with credit. We'll get you approved and driving fast. Hurry to Franklin-Sussex Automall, Route 23 in Sussex.
Jeep Celebration Event, Ram Power Days.
Sussex County Sheriff's Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit organization that encourages cooperation between the citizens of Sussex County and the Sussex County Sheriff's Department. If you have information relating to a crime or criminal activity in Sussex County, please contact us. If your tip leads to an arrest, you could receive a reward of up to $1,000. Contact us at 973-300-CRIME or through our website at www.sussexcountysheriff.com. Thank you.
This message made possible by D&H Risk Solutions. For more information, go to risksolutions.com. Farmstead Golf and Country Club is the perfect place to host your event. Weddings, christenings, baby and bridal showers, and sports banquets. The staff at Farmstead will make your day a special one. The banquet facility overlooks their beautiful 27-hole golf course. Farmstead Golf and Country Club can also host your charity golf event. For more information on the Farmstead banquet facilities or to book your tee time, call 383-1666. Farmstead Golf and Country Club, located on Lawrence Road in Lafayette. Visit their website at farmsteadgolf.com.
You know you love pizza and Italian food. Dominic's Pizzeria and Italian Restaurant has got you covered from one end of the county to the other with 3 great locations. Dominic's, East Clinton Street in Newton, with a brand new dining room. Then there's Dominic's on Munsonhurst Road in Franklin. And the 3rd location is Chesco's, Route 94 South in Newton. All 3 locations offer simply great food. Dominic's in Newton, 383-9330. Dominic's in Franklin, 209-1007. And Chesco's, 383-2840.
Party time or work time? Tri-State Rentals has the right tools and supplies for your next job or party, event, and wedding tents in many sizes, plus all the accessories you need to host that perfect party, including bounce houses, carnival games, and catering supplies. We also rent tools and equipment for any job, big or small, indoor or out. We rent, sell, and service Kubota tractors. Planning your next job or event just got easier. Visit Tri-State Rentals online at tristaterentals.com or visit our showroom, 105 Sparta Avenue, Newton.
Commitment to student success is what sets Sussex County Community College apart. Turn your passion into a career and learn from professors who are in the field and rich with experience. Imagine an education with endless possibilities and a campus full of life. Choose a degree or certificate that speaks to your inner self but doesn't have a lasting impact on your finances. Visit our open house on October 14th so that you can get started on a great education. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere.
Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services, specializing in public entity risk management, loss control, and self-insured alternatives. Put your trust in Arthur J. Gallagher locally by contacting George Moorville, who served Sussex County schools and municipalities for over 40 years. Arthur J. Gallagher and George Moorville support Sussex County athletes and charities. Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services, business without barriers. For more information, call George Moorville at 973-383-3110.
Pop, 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 money, money. Pop, 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 money, money, money. Use your phone to pay your friends. You can even pay the rent. Out to dinner, pay your buddy. Use your phone to pop your money. Lakeland Banks pop money, money. Pop, 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 money, money, money. Pay the sitter, send a gift. It's real easy, you get my drift? You don't need checks, you don't need cash. Use pop money, it's so fast.
Lakeland Bank's Pop Money, the easy way to pay people. Pop to it.
Pop, pop, pop.
Welcome back to the Franklin-Sussex Automall, Franklin-Sussex Hyundai Sports Beat, the Friday-Saturday edition, as we continue our picks. And we're going to pick it up with an American Red Division game. Wallkill Valley will go to Lenape Valley Friday night. Wallkill 0-2. Bobby Leach still looking for that first win as the Wallkill head coach. Hung tough for a half against Hackettstown. And as we said before, too many big plays by the Tigers did in the Rangers. But Wallkill Valley's got some of the best skilled kids around. If they can get a little bit of blocking, they should be okay. Alex Mastriani at quarterback. Dylan Harlos, Justin Rivera, such a talent. Jake Lonsky, Ryan McGuire's at lineman for them. Brody McDonald as well. They're going to need to bring their A game against a Lenape team that's going to be upset because they lost to Newton. They need to get this win to stay in the race. Now Lenape Valley will be rooting for Lakeland and Hackettstown down the road. Tough game, tough teams that Newton still has to play in the division. Lenape Valley will bounce back. They'll have the three-headed running back out of the wing tee. Nick Molinari, Troy DuPont, Brandon Brady, and the big guys up front, Will Ernst, Gabe Jimenez, Sek, Taro Johnson, Ron Lucchese, and Andrew Calley, the big guy. They're going to have to pick it up on defense against those skilled kids because their skilled kids are similar to Newton's. They have a speed, they can break it. So Lenape's defense, led by Marshall Kellenberger, and also DuPont and Cole Robertson, they're going to need to do a good job. I think they will. And also they're going to honor the 40th anniversary of the first state title team at Lenape Valley, 1977. That was Don's second year, I believe, there at the school, and that should be cool. Don said they have 25 guys coming back. That's amazing. 40 years and 25 out of a roster of probably 50 are going to make it to this reunion. So have a good time, guys, and it just shows the continued excellence over the years by Don Smolin. Our next game is Sparta at Vernon. Sparta rolling, folks. They're just a machine offensively. The names might change, but the results are the same. They're 2-0. They lumped up Montville 47-6. Anthony Broccoletti, as good as possible, 13 of 14 for 301 yards and 4 touchdowns. Amazing. Eric Castorina, another big day, 4 catches, 173 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jake Zerillo, Will Cisco, great receivers. They do that quick passing game. It's almost like a running game, but when they do run it, because they spread the field, big holes open up for kids like Thomas Agudo. And then the second half, Jordan Griffin showed what he can do against Montville. He had a nice game. But the guys up front, Kevin Carpenter, Ben Davis, Robbie Gannott, leading the way there. And also those guys play on defense. So Sparta off to a great start, 2-0. They'll go to Vernon Friday night at 7. Vernon 0-2, played much better in the loss to Jefferson. Mike Stefkovich and Jeremy Cahart, the 2 hard-running running backs back there. Cahart was 11 for 61 rushing. And they went down first drive against Jefferson, punched it in, took the early lead, just like they did last year against Jefferson, but just couldn't keep that momentum going, and the Falcons came back and won the game. Dan Fedorko at quarterback, and the offensive line with Ames and Luca Andrus needed to do a nice job against Sparta. Mike Walker had a big day against Jefferson, but Sparta is just too loaded. They're going to get the win and move to 3-0. Our next game, very interesting crossover game. Mount Olive 2-0, their best start since 2012, I believe. They will go to High Point, who's 2-0. Let's talk about the Marauders. Coach Brian O'Connor was the head coach at Wayne Valley for many years, was very successful. Then he was the offensive coordinator at Hanover Park with that great offense. And he took over the program last year, made great strides, and now this year, off to a good start. They beat Mendham 40-6 and Morris Knowles 28-7. Those are 2 very good wins for the Marauders. Quarterback Liam Anderson last week was 14 of 22 for 242 yards, 3 touchdowns. His 2 favorite receivers were Evan Kelson and Robert Bakovich. They each had 4 catches. And then Anthony DeJoseph handles the rushing duties. Anthony DeJoseph was 22 of 130. Defensively, Nolan Clark, Ryan Hodgkins do a nice job. Anderson also plays D. This is an explosive and athletic team and a scary proposition for High Point. High Point escaped, best way to describe it, against Jefferson, and then they put it together last week against West Milford. They didn't play West Milford last year because of the virus, but they went over to West Milford and kind of lumped up their Passaic County neighbors with a big win, 41-7. Chad Mazzilli, the workhorse, nothing pretty, just he comes right at you, 17 for 105, and then he also caught 3 passes, which is key, for 94 yards. Jake Lazinski was 3 of 5 for 94, all the passes to Mazzilli. So that gives High Point a bit of a passing threat, which makes them dangerous. And Coach Jim Delaney knows he can't just run the ball. So good job by Jake Lazinski. He also carried the ball 9 times for 106 yards. And defensively, and obviously on the offensive line first, we always got to mention Eric Fry, Brandon Labar, Shane Ratch, Joe Burke. If they do their job, also Justin Lazinski at tight end, get that wing, the flex bone going, they should be able to move the ball. And defensively, the 2 Lazinskis, Ryan McCarrick, Connor Hunsicker, those guys are going to have to play very hard and play well against this talented Mount Olive team. They spread things out. I think it's going to be a great game. This might be the best game of the weekend. And just because High Point's home, I'm going to pick the Wildcats. And our final game is our game of the week. You can see here on mugsmedia.com. Del Barton against Pope John. First United White game for both teams. Pope John won last year in defensive battle 14-7. So a great game. They had a goal line stand last year down at Del Barton. Del Barton comes in 0-2. Lost to St. Joe's, who's arguably one of the best teams in the state, if not the best, 48-0. And they lost to St. Anthony's of Long Island 35-21. Miles Lee now is a quarterback. He's on that great lacrosse team. This season he's 26 of 46 for 295 yards. When he looks to throw the ball, he looks for Evan Unger, Trey Zongbowski, and Michael Lodge. And carrying the ball is Mashad Harrison and Anthony Saragusa. Yes, that's the Goose's son. We want to know if we'll have an appearance of Tony Saragusa up at Pope John, depending where Fox sends him on Sunday for their game. But he's been doing a nice job. Brian Bowers does a good job with that program. Big Group 4 PowerPoints on the line for Pope John. 2-0. They avenged their loss to Malvern Prep, beating them 27-10. Nico Haranish, nice job. 19 of 24 for 126 yards. They opened it up last week passing. He had a couple of touchdowns. He had 8 different receivers. So Hopatcong showing there's so many different weapons there. But their big time guy on the edge is Taj Jones. He can take it to the house and make that athletic play. They also, Sam Darrell came out and did a little bit out of the pistol Wildcat. So a couple of looks there for Del Barton to think about. Darrell, very good athlete. He also caught 3 passes. Then you got the tandem back there, Burrell Neal with the speed. Terrence Jones goes right up the middle. And then that defense, Nick Danucci, Ryan Greenhagen, John Marquez, Louis Montana, Ty Haranica, all do a nice job. I think Hopatcong gets this win, and then they'll go into the real teeth of their schedule. They want to be sitting at 3-0 going into the rest of the United White Division. I think Hopatcong gets the victory. So those are our picks for week 2. Get out and check out the games, and you'll see all the highlights on Monday's Sports Beat. So check out that, and we'll have more here on the Sports Beat right after these messages here on Channel 10 and MugsMedia.com.
Bill Snopper here. Summer's ending and it's time to make a clean sweep of inventory. It's the end of summer sales event at Franklin-Sussex Automall. Every new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram are clear the lot savings in the thousands.
Start the fall season in your choice of a new 2017 Jeep Compass or a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express, both just $189 a month.
And we can help you with credit. We'll get you approved and driving fast. Hurry to Franklin-Sussex Automall, Route 23 in Sussex.
Jeep Celebration Event Ram Power Days.